Hello, my name is Pooja. Welcome to the Sunday special episode of Around the World. What is the criterion of being bankrupt in normal life? It is a situation when you have 100 rupees and you have to spend 200 rupees. In this situation, you will have to borrow 100 rupees from someone. But what will you do if you are unable to repay the loan on time? Obviously, you will repay the loan by giving some asset or valuable thing to the lender in lieu of the loan. It is called bankruptcy. India's neighboring country, Pakistan, is almost on the verge of becoming bankrupt. As per the media reports, Pakistan could be the second defaulter after Sri Lanka. According to reports, Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves are depleting continuously. According to the Central Bank of Pakistan, Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves have been reduced to just $4.3 billion. With this amount, Pakistan can import goods for only 3 to 4 weeks. It implies that Pakistan is facing a serious economic crisis. However, in the meantime, it was reported that Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has sought financial aid from many countries and he had succeeded in getting financial aid. According to the news, a meeting of the heads of the world's major economic institutions and countries was held in Geneva and Pakistan has been promised $10 billion in aid during this meeting. But in the midst of all this, the aid Pakistan gets from Saudi Arabia remained in the headlines. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has ordered the country's financial institutions to conduct studies to increase investment and loans in Pakistan. The Crown Prince also spoke of increasing Saudi Arabia's deposits in the State Bank of Pakistan to $5 billion. It implies that Saudi Arabia has came forward to help Pakistan. But according to the report, Saudi Arabia or other friendly countries are not able to help Pakistan instantly due to IMF. So in today's episode, we will know about the reasons behind Pakistan's severe economic crisis. We will also know why Saudi Arabia always comes forward to help Pakistan. Along with this, we will also know why the IMF has become an obstacle in Pakistan getting financial aid from its allies. First of all, let us know about the reasons behind Pakistan's economic crises. According to media reports, Pakistan faced severe floods in 2022. In these floods, more than 1,700 people were killed and around 3.3 crore people were affected. It is estimated that Pakistan has suffered an economic loss of $30 billion due to the floods. Therefore, it is being said that Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves have almost got depleted. Now, Pakistan has only too much foreign exchange reserves left that it can import goods for 3 to 4 weeks only. But flood is not the only reason behind Pakistan's economic crises. According to a report, Pakistan has a debt of about $100 billion. In the current financial year, it has to repay a debt of $21 billion. Actually, Pakistan has been facing an economic crisis for years and the reason behind this is being attributed to the balance of payment. Balance of payment refers to a statement that records the monetary transactions of a country with the world during a given period. The balance of payment of a country tells whether the country has a trade surplus or trade deficit with the rest of the world. When a country's exports exceeds its imports, it is said to have a trade surplus. Whereas when imports exceed exports, it is said to have a trade deficit. At present, this is happening in most of the developing countries. There is a balance of payment crisis in these countries. Pakistan is one such country which is facing the issue of balance of payment. Pakistan is importing more and it is unable to export in the same proportion. According to reports, the value of Pakistan's imports has increased, but the value of exports has not increased. For example, the price of crude oil is skyrocketing. Recently, the price of crude oil has reached $123 per barrel. Apart from this, the prices of gas, edible oil and food grains have also increased more than expected. Pakistan imports these commodities from abroad. However, the items such as clothing, cotton, leather, opticals, etc. exported by Pakistan did not witness the same growth. Due to this, the balance of payment crisis has arisen in Pakistan and experts are considering it as the biggest reason for Pakistan's economic challenges. According to an estimate, there is a gap of about $40 billion in Pakistan's imports and exports. Therefore, Sri Lanka-like inflation is visible in some parts of Pakistan, but it is a matter of relief for Pakistan that many friendly countries have given assurance of financial aid and Saudi Arabia has also talked about opening its coffers for Pakistan. In such a situation, the question arises that why Saudi Arabia helps Pakistan again and again. Actually, Saudi Arabia has been a very close ally of Pakistan. There is also a lot of closeness between Pakistan and the royal family of Saudi Arabia. The reason for closeness between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia is that both are Sunni Muslim majority countries. It is a well-known fact that the fight for supremacy in the Muslim world between Sunni-dominated Saudi Arabia and Shia-dominated Iran is not a very new phenomenon. Both countries are also fighting proxy wars in many places, including Yemen. In such a scenario, Saudi Arabia has a lot of expectations from Pakistan as a Sunni country, as Pakistan is the only nuclear power country in the Islamic world. Therefore, Saudi Arabia believes that if the need arises, Pakistan will not only provide military assistance to it, but will also provide nuclear weapons. At present, Pakistan is giving training to the army of Saudi Arabia, and about 65,000 soldiers of Pakistan are employed in Saudi Arabia. Due to all these reasons, Pakistan holds significance for Saudi Arabia, and therefore Saudi Arabia has supported Pakistan on many occasions. When Imran Khan came to power in 2018, then Pakistan was struggling with economic plight. At that time, Saudi Arabia had saved Pakistan from being a defaulter by providing $6 billion worth of financial aid. According to a report, about 27 lakh citizens of Pakistan work in Saudi Arabia for livelihood. Foreign exchange coming from Saudi Arabia plays an important role in Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves. But according to recent news, Saudi Arabia, China and UAE are not able to help Pakistan immediately because of IMF, that is International Monetary Fund. Now the question arises that why IMF is not letting these countries provide financial aid to Pakistan. Actually, Pakistan has taken financial help from IMF on several occasions. Pakistan is working on 23 programs with the IMF, but so far Pakistan has been able to complete only 1 or 2 programs. It implies that Pakistan has been able to fully repay only 1 or 2 loans. Now Pakistan has come to the point that it is again compelled to request the IMF for a loan. It means that in order to get funds, Pakistan accepts the issues of economic reforms as per the IMF conditions, but as soon as the IMF program ends, Pakistan again adopts the old path. In such a scenario, IMF has decided that any economy will have to mend its ways and it will have to gain the trust of IMF. If it manages to build trust, then only other countries will be able to trust it. It means to say that without the certificate of IMF, no country or bank will help any faltering economy. Therefore, the assistance provided by allies of a country will also be decided on the criteria of IMF. Therefore, Pakistan's ally countries are not able to help it due to the non-resolution of the matter with the IMF. However, it remains to be seen whether Pakistan improves its economic conditions or becomes a defaulter like Sri Lanka. Now we come to the next segment of the Sunday special episode of Around the World. In this segment, we'll talk about other significant international news. Last week, the US MP, Andy Biggs, introduced a bill in the US House of Representatives. The bill was introduced for withdrawing Pakistan's designation as a major non-NATO ally. Actually, Pakistan has been harboring terrorism as well as using it as a state of policy for a long term. Hence, demands have been raised on several occasions to withdraw the status of major non-NATO ally from Pakistan. Notably, it is a designation given by the US government to close allies that have strategic ties with the US armed forces but are not members of NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Recently, India's neighboring country Myanmar carried out airstrikes. These attacks were carried out very close to the Indian borders. According to a local website in Northeast India, 2 shells fell inside the Indian territory during the attack. Actually, the Myanmar government has launched a series of airstrikes against the headquarters of the CNF, that is Chin National Front, which is located close to the Indian-Myanmar border. Notably, this is the first time that the Myanmar army had carried out an airstrike on the headquarters of the CNF. The CNF is a major armed ethnic organization. It was established in 1988. This organization demands an autonomous state for the Chin community. Significantly, Chin communities live in the border areas of India, Bangladesh and Myanmar. A meeting between the officials of the US and China was held to reduce the tensions between the two countries. On 18th January, US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen met with her Chinese counterpart, Vice Premier Liu He. Significantly, the two countries are holding talks at the time when they are grappling with separate but interrelated challenges on trade, technology and other issues. The Chinese economy is reopening after the COVID-19 resurgence and the US is slowly recovering from 40-year high price inflation. That's all in this episode. Let us note down the question based on today's story. What are the reasons for the economic crisis in Pakistan? Elaborate the reasons for the closeness between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia.